Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Sports Saviors. It is October 10th, about 9:47 p.m. as we start this recording. Lee, how you been? How you
I've been all
doing?
right. I'm doing all right. How about yourself, bud?
I'm doing okay myself. Baseball playoffs on the here, hockey starting up, basketball starting up, football in the middle of the season. We're in the point of the year where we get out all the sports at one time. How you feeling about
Yeah,
that in general?
yeah. It's great to just be able to, on any given day, be able to turn on the television and have something on, some type of sport on. So it's great right now. Yeah, like you said, baseball playoffs right now. I think it's women's basketball playoffs right now. Hockey just started. Like you said, middle of season for football. Basketball is about to start up. It's great. It's a great time of the year right now.
Yep. Oh, but the main story still for us here is football, and the big story this week has been George Pickens. A lot of drama going on around him. I think I want to start off by just going through the timeline of the last week or so, starting with the game on Sunday against the Sunday night against the Cowboys. Started off with a beautiful message that he sent out to everyone through his his eye black. As you could see there for a second, I go too quick, I guess. I'm an asshole. It starts off with his eye black, which says open fucking always.
Oh,
And then he goes on to have one of the worst games of his season, I'd say.
uh,
I'm gonna just let this play through. And a lot of people question his effort during this game. A lot of people questioning his attitude during this game. What are your thoughts overall and how he played on Sunday?
yeah, it was definitely one of the worst games we've seen of him play, and it's starting to seem like he's getting a little bit of the shades of last year of how he was acting with his behavior and things like
Mm-hmm.
that we were talking about last year with his play and that, and it just seems like maybe he's getting frustrated again with things, but he's jogging. It's almost like Deontay Johnson was last year, but he had the same. George Pickens had the same type of issues and things like that, but it just like, yeah, it just seems like he's almost like giving up and doesn't seem like he really wants to be there to play on this team.
Yeah, this video here is was put together by I think Warren Sharp. He George Pickens, he meaning it looks like just if you watch this, when the ball looks like it might be coming to him, he's running around, but other times it's like a malaise. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
jog, and sometimes it's not effort at all. But it is something to look into and see how it goes. And it's interesting to see how everyone else starts to react to him here. Uh, First of all, his snap count was way down this week. I think that's the first takeaway you can take from what he's
Yeah.
doing, and the question is whether or not that's a game plan or if
Mhm.
that's them looking at seeing his effort and deciding that they're not going to put up with this anymore. This last one here is like rough, where if he's running full speed there, it's probably a nice little play, and he's just going across the middle pretty slow there.
Yeah.
It's questionable for sure. You don't want to give up on a young guy, but at some point the red flags start popping up, and you can't keep doing this. Is multiple years in a row where he's shown signs of not giving a
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And as we scroll through all these plays, the next thing we'll see is the end of the game there, where he decides
Yeah.
he's gonna pull down the face mask of the Cowboys player to end the game. What were your thoughts on that? We talked about it a little bit the other day.
Yeah, I mean, the game's over. I mean, he's just letting his emotions get the best of him there, and it's pointless to even do. I mean, uh, it's I almost was thinking like if that game still had a couple minutes left on, or not minutes, couple seconds left on it, it would have been like that Browns game that the Steelers had with Mason Rudolph.
Yeah,
It would have been the
yeah.
same thing that happened right there at the end of the game. And it's like, it's no need to happen. You don't need to do that and let your emotions get the best of you at the end of a game because you lost. You got to just move past that and let it go. I mean, it's just immature and childish to do. I mean, it just seems like he's picking up the same behavior that he had last year with going with this year.
So after the game, Tomlin spoke a little bit about the snap count. So let's just move on to that spot there where Watch this one more time, and then we got Tomlin.
Wasn't one of your higher snap players on offense. There was a whole series where he was on the bench in the second half. What went into that?
We just wanted to kind of minimize his reps in an effort to get more productivity. We just trying to rep manage in terms of the totality of the big picture. He wasn't less of a focal point in terms of our intentions of what we wanted to do offensively, but we did want to cut his reps a little bit in an effort to get higher quality play, just in general.
Was he not playing up to the quality that you wanted from him?
It's no different than we minimize some of the snaps of D linemen like Cam Hayward and so forth, man. It's just about snap management. It's no underlying story.
So there's no underlying story, but here are the numbers here. You can talk about snap manager all you want, but if this is something you want from all your guys, as you see here, Van Jefferson, 47, Calvin Austin, 44, George Pickens, only 34 snaps, Cam Hayward, the guy he mentions, the 34-year-old, 55 snaps. That's from John Ledyard. I don't know if he's a random dude on Twitter, but it looks like he's a random dude on Twitter. But he put the numbers together there. So it's bullshit, right? The idea that this isn't about what's going on the field and there's no underlying message that we should take away from it.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's obviously there's something going on. It's not about snap management. Like it says right here, Cam Hayward's 35 years old. He's way older than George Pickens.
And that's who he specifically mentioned. He specifically mentioned Cam's workload and how he was on a snap count. Let's look at this here, and it doesn't look good.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like there's obviously something else going on, and it's Mike Tomlin again trying to cover up whatever's going on because he doesn't want to make it seem like there's other things going on behind the scenes. He wants it just to make it seem like he's trying to nip it in the butt, even though there is something going on, and he's just trying to give the best political correct answer to the media so that nothing else gets out about this or whatever else is going on with it.
And as you'll see in this next clip, it seems like frustrating is starting to blow over a little bit with the rest of the team here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
No. I think George had maybe 1 or 2. He's kind of guys the ball more.
Yeah, I trust the coach staff what they're doing. Everyone can bitch and complain about getting lack of targets, but it's the stuff you do without the ball. And that's what leaders do, and that's what good teammates do. And I put my ass off regardless. So the target's going to find me as long as I'm going out there doing my job, whatever's asking me to do. I'm going to go out there and do it the best I can.
Pat, I know you mentioned.
So there you go there. That was a little low, but I think it's a pretty good message that was sent there from Freiermuth. And you can't really find anyone else on the field that he might be talking about other than Pickens, right?
Yeah. Exactly,
Tomlin comes back later the week. This is Tuesday. Tomlin comes in and here's his thoughts on – he gets questioned a bunch about Pickens here, and I'm going to let him play through all these different conversations. Stop it. Or tell me to stop whenever you want to add something here.
Okay.
Your guys played hard. Did you have any level of concern with George Pickens' effort or with the message that he had on his eye black?
Again, I don't know what messaging you're talking about regarding his eye black. I didn't have any outline issue with his effort. As I mentioned after the game, I think someone asked about a reduction in his total number of snaps. That's just a snap management thing in an effort to be more productive. In today's game regarding analytics, we do it across a lot of positions, particularly when you look at the totality of a 17-game schedule. I'd imagine Cam Hayward, for example, is playing less snaps than he has, just trying to grow and trying to get optimum productivity among some individuals and going about the best means of doing so. And so that's probably a reflection of the snap totality of last week.
You can pause.
The message on his eye black said open.
Yep, go ahead.
I mean, he just said that it's all about the analytics and saying that a guy like Cam Hayward probably has has less snaps than him, and yet we just found somebody, just a random guy, found out that he had. It's obviously he doesn't even know what's going on. He's just trying to give the political answer there. At that point.
He knows what's going on for sure, but he's doubling down on the idea that it's not about attitude and effort, but I think more of that is he wants to keep it in house.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, I mean, you can't blame him too much for that. Mm-hmm. That concept in general. But yeah, I do laugh at the idea that he keeps bringing up Cam Hayward, a 35-year-old guy who ended up playing 55 snaps compared to the 34 for Pickens. I assume the Cowboys ran more plays, so percentage-wise, it might be a little closer than the 34 versus 55 appears to be. But still, we're talking about a guy who's, 3 years into the league?
Yeah.
4 years in the league against a guy who's at the end of his career.
Yeah.
It's almost laughable to even suggest
Exactly.
it's a problem. They're going to talk about the eye black a little more here. I personally don't give a shit about the eye black, but I think it's going to be another one of those little things. It's just going to be a little distraction.
Yeah.
Thing always, it was an expletive written across his nose. He also yanked a Cowboys player down by the face mask after the game was over. Are those behaviors that are concerning or things that you address with him throughout the week?
It's certainly things that I'm open to addressing and will and do. I just don't detail it in settings like this because it's business between he and I in terms of his growth and development as a player and as a man. I just don't think it aids that growth and the development to address it in open settings such as this. Regarding his behavior, I am aware of that, and obviously that has been and will continue to be addressed. I wasn't aware of the messaging, and so, I'm just giving you a knee-jerk response to that.
It's just like we're aware of his behavior. These are professionals we're talking about, and it's shit you would like hear when you're talking about like your son. You're like, child, we're aware of his behavior. We're gonna get it fixed. That's not something you're supposed to be doing at the pro level. It's just comic. I keep saying comical, and I keep saying comical. It's just, why is this guy being treated like a child and like with these kid gloves that I just don't understand. Tomlin, he's the man who just comes straight forward with everything else. He's supposed to be so blunt, but with George Pickens last year, it was the same way. He just seems to have kid gloves with him.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, it's like you said, it's very laughable at this point because he's this is, like we said, this is now like the second straight year with him doing this. And last year Mike Tomlin was talking about how he had said he was going to sit aside with him and have a talk with him about this and try to work through whatever was going on with it. But it just seems like whatever it is still going on today, and he's not really getting it fixed, and it's just continuing to happen. And then it just seems like, I'm aware, it is what it is. I'm doing what I need to do in my own little setting, private setting with him, but obviously whatever he's doing is not working.
Yep. Here's some more from Tomlin.
Has he grown in a way that you expected or thought that you would see him grow both as a person and a player since he's been in the building?
He's certainly gotten better, yes.
Mike, what can you do to get more quality opportunities for him to make plays?
I think it's all of us. I think when you stay on schedule, you position yourself to do that. When you're not highly penalized, you position yourself to do that. Sometimes big plays are born out of the execution of others. If you hit a big play, if we hit that play to Connor down the sideline, maybe we're more fortunate moving forward. We're just going to keep working. We're not going to make a big deal out of it. We feel like we're in the right neighborhood, knocking on the right doors. Sometimes getting the desired result doesn't necessarily mean change. It simply means continued focus. And that's where I am in terms of some of the explosion play discussions.
Mike, when the season started, you said you felt that George was absolutely going to handle all the adversity and attention that comes his way positively. Do you see the face mask? He threw his helmet on the ground so hard it bounced over the bench at one point coming off the field. Is he handling this stuff positively?
Well, in those instances, no, but largely it's been an improvement in those areas. Certain example.
How bad was it then? How bad is it? Like this is an improvement over that. I like that the media is not letting him get off the hook on these comments. They're coming at him with some stuff. Obviously, it's not great for the team, and it's creating a distraction. That you don't want to have. But they're coming at Tomlin in a way that you'd be surprised to see, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, it's their job, to ask those tough questions to him, and it's him being he's in the position to where he can be asked these type of questions, and he's just it just seems like I've been saying, it just seems like he's just giving the political answer because he wants whatever's going on to keep it in-house to try to see if he can nip it in the butt before things get worse. And it's just laughable, but it's great that the media is, doing their job and asking the questions that need to be the tough questions that need to be asked to coaches like this. So, it's great it's going on.
Yep. And let's see if they got anything else tough to give to him here.
George expressed concern over the lack of snaps, or is he keeping that internal?
No, he has not, because it's been explained to him moments.
You haven't had a general problem with George Pickens' effort, but have you seen him maybe not run routes as hard as you think he should on certain plays, or is that a note that you guys have had on offense, like, hey, need this more out of here? Or is that part of the load management discussion?
It's certainly part of the load management discussion.
Oh yeah.
So next up, I got Pat Fryermuth coming in during the week. It's obvious that someone got to him and told him that, hey, those comments after the game might have stirred some feathers. So here's Fryermuth coming. I think this is Wednesday.
Okay.
You just gotta be there for him as much as you can. Understand where he's coming from. It's not out of a bad place. He obviously wants to help us win as much as he can, and he's a great talent. So we have to understand that as everyone and be there for him. But at the end of the day, he also has to understand this is a team sport. And he does. We've talked about that.
I love that right there. He just caught himself again talking shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's keep it going. Right?
He's practicing hard. He's doing all the right things. He's been in a great mood this week, so he understands what he needs to do. We all understand what we need to do as an offense.
So this is him practicing hard this week. Everyone else is stretching. I think this was recorded by Mike Pursuta. Give some credit to the video.
There you go. One little stretch right there. Yeah, he's all loose and limber. He's good to go.
And then now we get to hear from Arthur Smith about everything.
Some of those are all doing, obviously, not being as efficient we had been on third down. We had 2 shots in the high red zone in the second half. We didn't convert for different reasons. But you go on any game plan, certain players, and how we package things. You're trying to maximize snaps. Different lifetime, but certainly done it with other premium players. Done it with Derrick Henry. He'd be out there to play. He went out there all third downs, and he got plenty of touches. Did it with A.J. Brown early, certain things, and trying to mix and match and maximize things or set things up. And that was a little bit early. Still played the majority of snaps. He's still, I believe, depending on what metric you're using, 7th in targets, passing downs, or passing opportunities in the league. So I get it. You lose a game and something may look off or whatever, but that's not. And we communicate to any player, whether it's Scotty or Van or Connor Hayward. You guys know the roles. You guys know the backups. Now you package things. Those are week-to-week things. That's the way I can answer.
How do you feel?
So, I mean, once again, sorry for the audio being low there, but he's really trying to spin it as like, hey, it's no big deal that your most talented receiver is not part of the game plan in any way that's significant. And it's not like you still have Deontay Johnson, who's a good receiver, where you want to maybe get him the ball more. Your second best receiver is Van Jefferson, and I'm sorry, he's not good enough to be a focal point on your offense. Connor Hayward is an H-back. He should not be the focal point of your offense. I know that he got open on a couple plays there, and but it just you have to be able to scheme your best players into your game plan. I mean, it's just the fact, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's supposed to be the wide receiver number 1 for this team. He's supposed to be the main guy on offense, and the fact that they're just trying to spin this like it's like it's nothing. It's just it's crazy because they're supposed to have a game plan with him involved, and it's like it's just it's just George Pickens. He's doing what he needs to do. He's having a better week. Everything's okay. It's just da 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 da. So it just seems like whatever's going on, like you said, they're trying to keep it in house, and they're trying to see if they can nip it and just kind of just brush it under the rug like it's nothing right now.
Yeah. So Tomlin said he talked to him. Everything's good. Let's hear from George Pickens. This is from earlier today.
All right.
Lesser snaps than what you've been playing leading up to I mean, it had been like 68, 70 something, 80 something
Yeah.
percent, and then it was definitely a big dip.
Yeah. I think it was probably a game plan.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it.
The eye black message on your eye black, was there any purpose? What was the purpose behind it?
Just eye black. Yeah.
Did you expect the blowback about the message on the eye black?
Nah.
Have you heard from the league about a fine, or is there anything internal that comes with that?
George, Mike said you were okay with the load management, not being out there as much. Is that in fact true?
Oh yeah, that's what he just asked me. It's just part of the game plan.
What happened with the Jordan Lewis play right at the end of the game? Looked like he came by and said something, and you responded by pulling him down by his face mask.
Nothing.
Earlier this season, you've had some questionable penalties called on you. You've had some plays just kind of not go your way. Do you feel like you've gotten better at handling that kind of stuff and just dealing with the ebbs and flows of a game?
I wouldn't really say that. That's all on the refs. So that should show you where the refs are this season.
George, were you aware of the rule about messaging on that eye black?
Never seen it before. Have you seen it before?
You Cam got fined like some years ago for bringing this guy.
Years ago, when I wasn't in the league. So nah.
Throwing your helmet on the sideline, is that something that is part of being a competitor, or did you regret that? Do you not want to do that anymore?
Nah, when it's third down and you don't convert, a lot of fans are mad as well.
When Jordan Lewis said something going off the field talking about you,
she already asked me that.
Okay.
All right.
There's George Pickens. You can spin that one way or the other. If you like George Pickens, you say, "Oh, he answered all the questions." If you don't like him, you can take shots at the way he answered those questions. So, which side are you on, Lee?
I'm on the side of it. He was just very short and just seemed like he just didn't care what they were asking him, because he just seems like he's pissed and frustrated about whatever's going on and just getting sick and tired of just being asked questions. It's just, yeah, he answered the questions for sure, but he didn't really answer the questions.
Do you think you should pull Marshawn Lynch going forward, or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, that's what he's doing. That's what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what he did. I mean, so obviously, it seems like this is what he's going to be for a while. From now on with him, because he just seemed like he didn't care.
Yep. Hopefully, he comes out this week and goes 10 catches, 200 yards. Everyone can shut up, get a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
We can all smile and leave with a win against Vegas.
Yeah.